Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Level Up with Naomi, where we empower and lift each other up. So, today's topic is something really close to my heart. It's called effective retirement and risk management strategy. So, as a financial professional, this is something really that we want to share with you. So, me and our guest speaker our guest speaker is really great, and I'm so excited for this. So he is a U.S. Armed Forces veteran with over 30 years of civil service experience, which includes managing global programs with annual budgets of over 500 million US dollars, and currently serves as a senior manager within a federal government agency. He is a founder and editor-in-chief of DefenderMagazine.com, which has approximately 65,000 Facebook followers. He is an insurance and annuities agent licensed in 14 states, to include the District of Columbia. And he is the president of Triumph Financial Services, LLC, a Virginia-based limited liability company helping clients develop tax advantage retirement and risk management strategies. Jose is an associate pastor with Christ Revealed Embassy, a school of ministry church in Mitchellville, Maryland, and him and his wife Clarissa has 3 sons and 1 daughter. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our guest speaker for today, Mr. Jose Sanchez. Yay!
Hello.
Welcome, Jose. Thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing the wealth of knowledge. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
It is our pleasure. So just so you know, we are live on YouTube and Level Up with Naomi, and in my Facebook group as well, Level Up with Naomi. So we have people watching right now from Texas, from California, and we also have some our friends in the Philippines. I guess I do have friends from the Philippines. Hi. So thank you so much, and I know we have people from Virginia as well, and of course our team in Arizona and Oregon. Thank you so much for being with us. So Jose, before we start, can you tell us something? We'll go a little personal first. Something interesting about yourself most people don't know.
Whenever I'm asked a question, I have a tendency to tell them that one thing most people don't know about me is that I've actually seen the curvature of the earth. And for those who don't know what that means, I've been so high in the air that I've actually seen the earth look like a ball.
Wow.
And it's one of the missions that I traveled when I was in the Air Force.
Wow, I would like to do that too.
I've also been 2,150 feet underground.
That I don't want to try.
Yeah, that was something else. I had to get in this little tight little elevator that took us all the way down to this mining place. It's a place in New Mexico where they're actually burying transuranic waste, which is basically radioactive waste.
Wow. Oh, I'm a little claustrophobic. Maybe not that. But the air one, I want that. I want to see the earth like that. Thank you so much. That's really interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. So I know this topic is also really close to your heart, but what makes you so passionate about this topic that you actually wanted to share it to people, to everybody?
Well, there's multiple reasons. There's a saying, and the saying says that knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
And it is true. The challenge is that there's a lot of regular people like me that came from a real humble beginning. And what I discovered is that most of these secrets dealing with like financial stability were not shared to the average person. And so
And
with
so
time,
with time, I started to learn a lot about finances and how to manage finances and
how to
how
plan
to
for my
plan for my
financial
financial
future.
future.
And
And
as I
as I
started
started
learning
learning these
secrets of things such as living benefits and the fact that you can have a tax advantage or even a tax-free retirement income,
I
I realized that
realized that there were a lot of people, people who I know
that
that
didn't
didn't
know
know
anything about
anything
this.
about this.
And so
And
as I
so as I
started
started
noticing other
noticing other
people who
people
were
who were
retiring or
retiring or
experiencing
experiencing
life
life
experiences
experiences
that
that
caused
caused
financial
financial
devastation to
devastation
them,
to them,
it
it
became like a
became like a
ministry
ministry
function for
function
me
for
to
me to
actually
actually
help
help
people be
people be
prepared
prepared
for
for
financial
financial
stability in the
stability in the
future.
future.
Yes. So people ask, and I get these questions too, and I would like to ask you as well. Are you fiduciary?
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
live by
live
the
by the
fiduciary
fiduciary
code.
code.
So
So
in
in
essence, what
essence,
that
what that
means is
means is
that we
that we
always
always
take into
take into
consideration what
consideration
is
what
in the
is the
best
best
interest of
interest
our
of our
clients.
clients.
Yes.
So that's
So
a
that's a
requirement
requirement
by
by
statute, by
statute, by
laws.
laws.
And
And
over the
over the
years, all
years,
these
all these
states have
states
been
have been
implementing this
implementing this
fiduciary
fiduciary
requirement for
requirement for
people that are
people that are
actually
actual
licensed
licensed
agents.
agents.
But for
But for
me, it
me,
goes
it goes
beyond
beyond
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
these are
these are
people who
people
I'm
who I'm
developing
developing
lifelong
lifelong
relationships with.
relationships
So my
with. So my
clients aren't
clients
just
aren't just
clients;
clients.
they
They
become
become
part of my
part of
inner
my inner
circle.
circle.
And I
And I
intend to
intend
have
to have
a
a
relationship with them
relationship with
for
them
the
for the
rest of
rest
my
of
life,
my
the
life,
rest
the
of their
rest of
life.
their life.
And I want
And
to
I
be
want
able
to
to
be able to
face
face
them.
them.
I want to be
I
able to
want to be
have
able
a
to have a
barbecue or
barbecue
go
or
watch
go
a
watch a
football game
football game
together with
together
them
with them
and not
and
be
not be
ashamed
ashamed
because I
because
didn't
I
do
didn't
the
do the
best that I
best that I
possibly
possibly
could
could
to
to
prepare
prepare
them
them
for
for
mitigating
mitigating
risk in their
risk in their
life
life
or
or
having a
having a
strong
strong
financial
financial
future.
future.
Yes, yeah, very true. Because especially we belong to the same team. Yeah, we in our team, we become family. It's just not about like helping them, having business with them, but we become family. And yes, with the fiduciary duty we have, and then being a family to them, we always wanted to share and help them with the best that we can with their interest, not ours, not because we need business from them or we want to serve them. We really want to serve them, right? We become
Absolutely.
yeah. So before I continue, hi Samantha Nicole. Hi Asmerleia. I know. Hi Milods. And we do have others. It's, hi, we got Beta, Ate Beta. Hello, she's from our team too, and I have somebody else that I can see the name, and then Ate Cecil. Hello, Sis Cecil. Hi. Okay, thank you so much everyone for joining us. So, let me see. Okay. So my next question would be, how much should an individual have to have a good retirement and enjoy their retirement?
Well, that's
Well, that's
individual. It's based
individual. It's
upon the
based upon
client.
the client.
So
So
what I
what I
do,
do,
I prepare
I prepare
strategies for my
strategies for my
clients.
clients.
And
And
technically, it's
technically,
not a
it's not
financial
a
plan
financial plan
because I'm not a
because I'm
certified
not a
financial
certified
planner,
financial planner,
although I'm
although
currently
I'm currently
registered to
registered to
go down the
go
process
down the
of getting
process
that
of getting that
certification.
certification.
What I do is I
What I
just
do is I
help my
just
clients
help my
develop
clients
strategies.
develop strategies.
And so
And
I do what's
so I
called
do
a
what's
needs
called a needs
analysis.
analysis.
And in that
And in
needs
that needs
analysis,
analysis,
one of the
one of the
questions I
questions
ask
I
them is
ask
when
is
you
when
enter
you
into
enter into
retirement,
retirement,
what kind of
what kind
income
of
do you want
income
to
do you
have? What
want
do
to
you
have? What
think
do
you
you
need
think
to
you
be
need
able to
to be
live?
able to live?
And
So
different clients may
different
say,
clients
well, I
may
need to
say,
have
well, I
two
need to
thousand
have two
dollars a
thousand
month of
dollars a
income.
month of income.
And so I do the
And so I do the
equation based
equation
upon that.
based upon that.
Does that mean
Does that
net
mean
income,
net
the
income,
money you
the
actually
money you
take
actually
home,
take
or
home,
is that
or is that
prior to
prior to
taxes?
taxes?
So I have to
So
do
I have
that
to
kind of
do that
math.
kind of math.
And then based
And then
upon
based
that,
upon that, what we
do
do
a
is we do a
mathematical
mathematical
equation.
equation.
And that
And that
equation tells
equation
us
tells us
that if you
that
want to
if
be
you want to
living
be
by
living by
X
with
number of
X
dollars
number of
per year,
dollars
for
per year,
example,
for example,
$50,000 a year,
$50,000 a year,
then we
then we have to
forecast
forecast
for
for
inflation
inflation
to see
to
how
see
much
how
is your
much is your
$50,000 today
$50,000
going to
today
be
going to be
worth 20
worth
years from
20
now?
years from now.
Because
Because
$50,000 today
$50,000
won't be
today
worth
won't be worth
$50,000 in 20
$50,000
years
in
from now.
20 years
So
from
you
now.
may
So you
need
may need
$85,000 in the
$85,000 in the
future
future
to have the
to
same
have the same
purchasing
purchasing
power
power
that you have
that
today
you have
with
today with
$50,000.
$50,000.
So we
So we
basically do this
basically
math
do that
equation,
equation,
and
and
with that,
with that,
we are able
we
to
are able
figure
to
out how
figure
much
out
do
how
you
much
need
do
as
you need as
a
a
total
total
some
some
value of
value
your savings
of your
account
savings
in
account
order to
in
be
order to be
taking a
taking a
withdrawal of
withdrawal of
$50,000
$50,000
per year.
per year.
And so
And
that's how
so
we
that's
start
how we start
strategizing
strategizing
to
to
prepare for
prepare
you
for
a
you a
strategy
strategy
to
to
save up
save
the X
up the
number of
X
dollars
number
you
of
may
dollars
need.
you may need.
So one person
So
may
one
need to
person
have
may need to have
$1.5 million
$1.5
saved
million
by the time
saved
they
up by the
retire.
time we
Someone else
retire.
may need
Someone else may
2.5
need
or
2.5 or
3.5.
3.5.
It just depends
It
on
just
what is going
depends
to
on
be
what is going to be
your lifestyle
your
when you
lifestyle
retire.
when you retire.
And you have to
Yes.
take
And
into
you have to take into
consideration
consideration
other
other
sources of income.
sources
Like
of
for
income.
example,
Like for
Social
example, Social
Security.
Security.
Will you
Will
have
you
Social
have Social
Security?
Security?
Will it be
Will it be
available?
available?
Will you
Will
have
you have
access to
access
all
to all
100% of it,
100%
or
of
are you
it, or
going
are
to
you
be
going to
using
be using
50% or
50% or
85% of your
85%
Social
of your Social
Security
Security
based upon
based
current
upon
tax
current
law?
tax law?
Yes, very true. So how will I know if I am on track to achieve my retirement goal?
How will you
How will
know?
you know?
Yes.
So
So
that's
that's
beginning those
beginning those
questions.
questions.
So for
So, for
example, if you
example, if
said,
you
when
said,
I
when I
retire, I
retire, I
know that
know
based
that
upon
based
where I
upon where
live
I
at,
live at,
$50,000 a
$50,000 a
year
year
is what I would
is what
live
I would
off of.
live off of.
Then I do the
Then I do the
mathematical
mathematical
equation, and it
equation,
may
and they
tell
may
me
tell
that
me
when you're
that
ready
when
to
you're ready to
retire 20
retire
years from
20
now,
years
you
from now,
need
you need
$1.5 million.
$1.5 million.
And so then
And
we
so
look
then
at
we
what
look
do
at
you
what do
currently
you currently
have,
have,
and what are
and
your
what are your
saving
saving
strategies.
strategies.
So
So
are you
are you
currently
currently
saving
saving
$200 a
$200 a
month?
month?
And if you're
And if
saving
you're saving
$200 a
$200 a
month
month
and you're
and you're
receiving a
receiving
certain
a
type
certain
of
type of
interest
interest
return
return
on that
on that
saving,
saving,
is it
is
going
it
to
going to
accumulate
accumulate
to the
to the
required
required
balance that you
balance
would
that you would
need,
need, which
let's
is,
just
let's
say it's
just say it's
1.5 million?
1.5 million?
Will you
Will
be
you
able
be
to
able to
attain
obtain
that in
that
20
in
years?
20 years?
And so we
And
have
so we have
strategies to be able to
to be able to
forecast
forecast
based upon
based upon
past
past
performance
performance
within
within
index
index
markets
markets
to see
to
if you'll
see
be
if
able
you'll
to
be
hit
able to
that.
hit that.
So that's my next question actually. So what strategies are considered risk-free to prepare for your retirement? And what strategies would you recommend?
So
So
there's a
there's
lot
a
of
lot of
strategies out there.
strategies out there.
Most
Most
people, the
people, the
only thing
only
they
thing
really
they really
know of
know
is
of is
Social
Social
Security
Security
and
and
401k.
401k.
There are a lot
There
of
are a lot
people
of
who
people
know
who
about
know about
IRAs or
IRAs or
IRAs,
IRAs,
but they're
but
not
they're
familiar
not
with
familiar
other
with other
strategies.
strategies.
There are
There are
different
different
ways for
ways
you
for
to
you to
receive a
receive a
tax
tax
advantage or
advantage
for
or
you
for
to
you to
get
get
tax-free
tax-free
type
type
income.
income.
Um,
Um,
one of the
One of the
things is
things
like
is
a
like a
Roth
Roth
IRA
IRA
or a
or a
Roth
Roth
401k,
401k,
but
but
those are
those are
very
very
limited.
limited.
They
They
control
control
how
how
much you
much
can
you can
actually
actually
invest
invest
into
into
them
them
so
so
that
that
you
you
can
can
gain
gain
the
the
amount that
amount
you
that you
need.
need.
So
So
the
the
strategy that I
strategy
like
that I
to
like to
refer to
refer to
people is
people
called
is called
index
indexed
universal
universal
life.
life.
And I'm
And I'm
actually out
actually
here
out here
somewhere
somewhere
approximately 80% of all corporate CEOs have an index universal life type policy. Or in fact, if you could do the research and find people such as Hillary Clinton has a lot of these type of policies, because what they've learned is that you can accumulate growth in your money, and all that growth in your money will end up being tax-free later on in the future. And so what you want to do is you don't want to just accumulate money. You don't want to get to the end of your retirement and have $1.5 million, because that's the goal. Let's just say the goal is 1.5 million. You don't want to just get to the end and have $1.5 million in your retirement savings account. You want to have 1.5 million in your retirement savings account that gives you money that's not losing value. And what do I mean by that? If I withdraw $50,000 and then I get taxed on it 24%, well, I didn't withdraw $50,000. I did, but I had to give a portion of it to the government, right? So in actuality, if I needed $50,000 and I'm not withdrawing it from like a 401k or IRA, I have to pay those taxes. So I would have to add more to it. I may have to withdraw 65 or so $1,000 just to get the 50,000 I need. So I'm losing some of that money, right? Well, when you have something such as an IUL, it's not taxed. So the withdrawals are tax-free. And it's not only that, it's the fact that withdrawal doesn't even get reported to the IRS as income. So if you happen to have a benefit such as Social Security, your Social Security payment doesn't get taxed. So most people don't know this, but there's laws in effect that during the Reagan administration, they passed a law which allowed the government to tax your Social Security at 50% if you earn a certain amount of money per year. And then during the Clinton administration, they increased it again, and they said they can tax your Social Security check up to 85% if you earn a certain amount of money per year. And so what you don't want is you don't want to be having all these incomes that's coming from things such as 401ks, or believe it or not, even things such as rent you're collecting from property, stuff like that counts towards the income. and it's reportable to the IRS, and that affects your Social Security check. So having something such as an index universal life policy, all that growth, if you accumulated $1.5 million in there and you can now take a withdrawal from it, it's not reported to the IRS. So in essence, it's tax-free income. And it doesn't affect your other sources of income, such as withdrawal payments from the Social Security program.
So that is the IUL, right?
Yeah, the abbreviation is IUL, to Index Universal Life Policy. It's actually the most effective retirement strategy or retirement vehicle in America. There's nothing more effective than that. And for those people who think, oh, that can't be legal, it's too good to be true. Well, in actuality, it's not. There are IRS codes, 7702 and 101. These codes actually exist that allow companies to offer these kind of products. And that's why the wealthy, that's why the people who know use these kind of vehicles to save for themselves. I mean, think about it. Why is it these multimillionaires have large IUL type policies? Because they know it's a way to grow your money and not lose the value of it by having to pay taxes on it.
Yes, and yeah, I've got those comments too. You know, when I do when I share this to people, they say, "Oh, that's too good to be true." And then, there is an IRS code for that, and it is not too good to be true. And I also would like to mention, since we got people from the Philippines watching from us, in the Philippines, there's similar product as well for this one. So it's interesting. So it's not only us in the US that have these products, there's also similar products in the Philippines. So if you are interested in learning more about this, feel free to reach out to me, and I will connect you to the correct to the people who can help you with this. So so IUL, it is Indexed Universal Life, right? So that's our abbreviation. So how would you describe indexing?
So indexing is being able to participate in the gains in the market without having your money at risk in the market. And so the benefit here is that whenever the market is going up, you're getting a percentage of whatever the increase in interest, but you're not going to experience any of the losses. So when the market starts to go down and it goes to the negative, you have a contractual guarantee that you will not lose any of your principal, any of your money that you have saved up in the account. So you may not gain any interest, but you won't lose any of your money. And so that's the biggest thing. And so it's downside protection. And the beauty of this is not only that it's downside protection, so when the market goes down, you don't lose anything, but the way indexing works, it resets itself. So if the market is real high up here and everybody's buying at the high part, and then it just drops down like 25% drop, and it's at the drop part when the index resets, for us that are indexing, we begin to earn interest all the way from when it reset at the bottom. Whereas a person who was in the stock market, they have to regain everything they lost first before they're actually starting to earn again. In our case, we never lost anything. So because we never lost anything, we reset. Well, so once the market starts to go back up, we're starting to earn again interest. So for example, if a market dropped by 25% and then it starts to come back up and it only comes up 15%, we could actually participate in that 15% gain, whereas someone who was in a 401k or an IRA, they haven't even regained the 25% they lost. And so that's the advantage of being in an indexing or in an indexing product, such as an Index Universal Life Policy.
Yes, yes. So people only know, as you mentioned before, because people only know 401k. It's because it's being offered at work and things like that. So it is our duty, I guess, to reach out to more people. That's why we're doing education like this, to reach out to more people, to tell them that there are better strategies there, that not only it will be protecting your money, so you will not be losing the hard earned money. We're working so hard for this money, and so we really don't want to lose them, right? So how about tax advantage strategies? Can you share that with us too?
So the tax advantage aspect of that particular product, an IUL, is the fact that the money that you withdraw, it's technically considered a loan on your account value. So if you have a let's say $1.5 million account value, and that account value is earning 7% interest, let's just use that number, 7% interest on 1.5 million, and you're actually withdrawing, let's just say 6% as a loan on that. Well, that 6% is less than what you're actually earning in interest, but it's actually just a loan, and you never intend to pay it back. And because it's a loan, you don't get taxed on it because it's a loan. And whenever you finally do pass away, that the loans you took out is basically paid off from the account value. And so whatever the remaining value is, including any life insurance coverage you have, is given to your beneficiaries as a tax-free benefit. And so the tax advantage is that you're taking a loan out on the account value that you have, and so therefore you're not taxed on it. And that's where you get the tax advantage. In essence, it's tax-free, but we use the phrase tax advantage, right? Yes. Because there are stipulations of the way you're supposed to use it, and we want to make sure that you don't make a mistake, and the companies are making a mistake. In fact, they're always monitoring this to make sure there's no mistakes being made in the way these accounts grow. But it's considered a tax advantage when in actuality it's really more like tax-free.
Yes, very true. Very true. So you mentioned earlier too about this is not in my list as well, but I will just add. I just want us to tackle a little, and it's actually a different topic already that maybe we can discuss in the future at Level Up with Naomi. But you mentioned about, if you finally die, you'll get this. So how about people who say, that's when I die. So how about when I'm living? So what are your recommendations?
So this is the beauty of an index universal life policy. When we deal with our clients, we're looking at three main things. Number one, what if you live a long life, long, healthy life, and you live into your 80s or your 90s? The reality is most people are going to live into their 80s and 90s. Today in America, they say that the average retirement age is 65, and most people are planning that. But in actuality, the youth of today need to start thinking that they may not retire until they're 70, 75. And the reason for that is because the advancements in medical technology is causing us to live longer lives. There are studies that say that the first person to live to the age of 150 may be alive right now. And the reason why they're saying that is because there's so much advancements that people are going to live longer lives. So the first thing we try to do is we try to tackle what is referred to as longevity risk. There are a lot of risks that we deal with. All of us throughout our life, we will be faced with an enormous amount of opportunities and an enormous amount of risk. So what we have to do is develop strategies in our lives in order to answer the door whenever opportunity knocks, but not just answer that door, but be prepared to maximize or capitalize on all that we can gain from that opportunity. So that's the first part to it. But we also have to manage risk. And what an index universal life policy does, it not only gives me this growth to be able to get tax-free or tax advantage income later on, but it provides me other benefits such as living benefits. And this is very critical because one of the risks that we have in life is the risk of getting sick. Now, if anybody listening today happens to have never gotten sick, then thank God you never got sick. But chances are you probably have gotten sick with something, right? And that's why we have health insurance. Throughout life, we face risk. And so we insure that risk, or what we're really doing is we are mitigating that risk, or we're transferring that risk to somebody else that's willing to assume that risk. And that's what health insurance companies do. But even the best health insurance policy out there may only cover 90% of the costs associated with medical care. That's why we have copay and other types of things. Mm-hmm. Well, what if you happen to get something like a critical illness, a chronic illness, or a terminal illness? Treatment for something like that, such as cancer, can be $20,000 per month. And your health insurance may not cover that. It may only cover 90% of that. You may still end up with a medical bill of $100,000, $200,000. How are you going to pay for that? And that's where these living benefits come in, because what it allows is that if you're affected by up to 16 different types of critical illnesses, such as a stroke, a heart attack, or a cancer diagnosis, you can get access to a percentage of your death benefit in a life insurance type policy, maybe up to 90% of it. It depends upon your diagnosis, and it also depends on your state and the company that you're with and what's offered in it. But that's what living benefits does. It gives you money, financial money you need right now in case if you're diagnosed with a critical, chronic, or terminal illness. And that's risk mitigation or risk management. Because the reality is we need to manage risk.
Yes.
What we don't want to do is just live our lives, just wandering around like, I don't have any plans for anything. I'm not planning for something. But the reality is all of us plan for risk. When we get in our cars, we put our seatbelt on. Why are you doing that? You're managing risk. You're mitigating risk to the extent possible. You turn on the signal light when you're turning. Why? Because you don't want to get into an accident. So you're planning for these things. But what most of us don't know is that there's another way to mitigate risk, and that's what living benefits through certain companies. And the companies that we deal with offer these benefits at no cost to our clients.
Yes. Very true. Other people will say, "Oh, that will be that's not included in my budget, and that will be another expense." I always tell them, this is not an expense. You insure your car, right? You insure your car. We always get car insurance. We even insure our phones, right? We get cell phone insurance for our cell phones. Why not insure your life, right? It is the most important thing that you have. It's most important gift that you have, the gift of life. So we want to make sure that you will be insuring your life. And there are products out there that there are different products out there, not only IUL. There are different products out there that can help you with this. Just reach out to the people who invited you to this episode, and to me and Jose. Reach out to us and we will be helping you with this one. So people ask me these questions, and I wanted to ask you as well. What is your so-called investment philosophy, if you have one?
Repeat that again.
What is your investment philosophy, if you have one?
Investment philosophy. Well, I think it would have to revolve around what Warren Buffett says. And Warren Buffett has two rules. The first rule is never lose money. The second rule is never forget rule number one. So that's the key to it here, right? The bottom line is we work hard for our money. And they say you work hard, play hard. That's fine. I'm good with that. But you have to make sure that you're investing and saving, and the way you're doing it, you're not assuming risk that you can't actually afford to have. And so you want to mitigate the risk as much as possible. And that's why indexing and being an indexing type product, such as an index universal life product or a fixed index annuity, is so valuable. You were mentioning earlier about we have all this insurance. We have our cars insured. We have our phones insured. Well, the reality is most of us have health insurance, property insurance, right? Mortgage insurance, auto insurance. We have all these different insurances, but the one thing that we don't have is insurance on our savings, right? Insurance on our retirement accounts. That's what we don't have, and we don't even realize it. Now, I know of a lot of people, a lot of my clients who have lost a lot of money because their 401k took a drastic downturn. So what I tell them is, you've got all this other insurance. Why don't you insure your retirement savings? Protect it from loss. And that's where you do things such as an IUL or an index universal life policy or a fixed index annuity, which allows you to be able to gain and participate in growth without experiencing the losses. So it's kind of like insurance for your savings account or insurance for your retirement account.
Yes, very true. So sorry, I was reading something. So yeah. So so how can people reach you?
Through my website's the easiest way, triumphfinancialllc.com.
Yeah. So again, so do you have, so what are the three things that you would like our audience to remember regarding the topic today?
The three things are: be prepared for the three major scenarios in your life. One, you're probably going to get old. And that's a good thing, right? We want to live a long life. And when you get old and you go into retirement, you are adequately prepared to live life in dignity when you retire, because we've all heard the horror stories. Don't be dependent upon something such as the Social Security system, because we don't know how strong it's going to be in the future. So be prepared for retirement so that when you do retire, you can retire with dignity and the money that you're gaining is secured and protected. Number two, in that process, enjoy life. Enjoy life and the journey. It's not all about the destination, but the journey. Enjoy the people that you're with and have fun in that. But in that process, make sure that you are mitigating risk. And one of the key risks to mitigate is, what if I get sick? And that's why you want to have living benefits in case I get sick along the way. And number three is protect the financial future and stability of those whom you love by having adequate life insurance in case something terrible happens and you happen to die too soon through life insurance. And this is just planning for life. And so those are the three things. That's how prepare for those three scenarios: long life, if I get sick, and what if I happen to die too soon?
Yes, I guess I'm prepared for that. And we would be happy to help you prepare for that as well. So, as much as, me and Jose can talk the whole day, actually. But the message that we have, I hope you learned something from us today. Thank you again. Thank you so much for those who watch us live and for those who will be watching us on the replay. And Jose, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us today. And for those who are watching, feel free to reach out for us. Me and Jose are here to help you out. Again, I want to leave this message for you before we go. A good financial plan is a roadmap that shows us exactly how the choices we make today will affect the future. Money is a terrible master, but an excellent servant. The goal isn't more money, but the goal is living life on your terms. So be ready. It is not too late to prepare for your future. We are here to serve. Thank you so much for watching Level Up with Naomi. Reach out to us. I'll be adding in the description how to reach Jose as well. And thank you so much for joining us. God bless us, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.